One of the most important aspects of any amateur radio system is the antenna. Without it you can neither hear nor be heard. Hi, I'm Mark Phillips, KC2ENI. Today we'll be making the copper J-pole. The first thing we'll need is our dimensions. Today we'll be making a 440 antenna for use on the 70cm band. The antenna is made up of three main sections. A is the driven element at 49 cm long. B is the counterpoise at 16 cm long. And C is the piece that connects them together. You will also need to add a piece to the bottom to mount it with. This can be any length. "49cm is approximately here, which I shall mark with my carpenter's pencil. Now it's time to cut the antenna. For this we'll be using a scoring tool. You can pick this up at any Home Depot store. It's relatively cheap. The cutting device is attached to the pipe like so and spun gently around, each time tightening the nut on the back. And here we have the two pieces of pipe. We proceed in this fashion until all the pieces are marked and cut. Once you have all the pieces cut, make a rough build to make sure they all fit together. Some of the pieces may be difficult to install at first. Don't worry, the heat when you start to solder them later will help with this. So there we have our roughly built antenna. Doesn't look like much now, does it? But you wait and see. So, now we have our gloves. We'll take the first piece of our antenna and we'll take our wire brush. And we're going to fit one end over the pipe and we're just going to spin it around for a while. What we're doing here is cleaning up the pipe such that it's all nice and shiny. Here we go. On the end of my brush here is a piece that's designed to go inside the fitting, and that's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to clean it in the same way as I did the previous piece of pipe. Okay, that's now nice and clean. Let's add this to our collection of pieces. So the next stage is to apply with the brush to the pipe some flux. Just paint it on liberally, all over the shiny piece of metal. Now you're full of flux, take your first fitting and install it onto the pipe, like so. You can see I've got the torch already going, I've got some solder, and this is the piece I'm going to actually join. So I'm going to present the piece to the flame. It's going to cook, and then I'm going to, when it reaches the appropriate temperature, apply the solder. It's not quite ready yet. Here we go. Starts to flow the solder. The job of the flux is to pull the solder into the joint. And there we go. That's that piece going. Don't worry about smoke or anything. That's just the grease inside the pipe burning off some of the flux as well. Now, this is very hot. I'm going to put this over to one side, well out of the way, so that I don't burn myself. Offer it up to the heat. And this is actually starting to get quite hot. I can feel it through my glove. Obviously, the smaller the pieces are, the quicker they heat up. There you go, that's that piece well and truly soldered. I'm going to present it to the flame, get it nice and hot. Just enough to flow the solder, and there we have. With this next piece, I'm going to use a pair of pliers. Because it's such a short piece, and because there's two joins already on it, the end cap and the elbow, the pipe's beginning to get quite hot. Again, just hot enough to flow the solder. You don't really want to put too much on, not that it'll do it any damage, but it won't make it look quite so nice. The final job is to join the main antenna piece with the stub matching section. Again, this is going to get very hot. You'll also need to make sure that the two pieces are relatively well lined up. Otherwise the antenna is going to look very odd on the pole. And there we have it. The completed 70cm antenna. And there you have it, the completed join. Using a pair of hose clamps, connect the cable as follows. Connect the inner of the coax to section A. Connect the outer of the coax to section B. And finally, tune for the lowest SWR reading on your meter. Well, there you have it. Not bad for less than $10. You can build this for other frequencies too. Watch out for the caption at the end with the dimensions. Thanks for watching this edition of Homebrew Hams. Goodbye.